Hello, friends. Hey, everybody. How are you tonight? I am coming on a little bit early. Normally, I do Metabolic Monday live around 7 or 8 on Monday evening. But as you guys know, hey, Danalette. How are you, sweet friend? We need to get on a call someday, Dana. That would be so much fun. Anyway, because the national championship game is on tonight, I thought I would come on a little bit earlier. So I'm going to let you guys come on. Hey, Deb, how are you? I hope you guys are doing well. I had the day off. And did y'all watch my video earlier where my house was a hot mess? I got it together. I did. I got it together, got myself together. It was so nice. Hey, Lola. Hey, Judy. Hi, Shirley and Angela. Oh my goodness. You guys, thanks so much. You know what? Hit those hearts and likes. I love the big smiles that are on there. That is really fun. You can hit that as many times as you like. Hey, Ruby and Crystal. Hey, Lindy in cold Ohio. Are you freezing cold in Ohio? Let me tell you what, South Alabama got some snow. We did not get the snow, darn it, but it is really cold. It was really cold today. Daryl and I were outside for a little bit, and he was working on my mailbox, and I had the wind is what was so cold today. Sheila said, hello, Annie from Southeast Texas. Well, hey, Sheila. Hey, Paulette and Teresa from Virginia. Hey, Sue Jackson. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm going to let a few more just people come on. It takes a few minutes, right, for everybody to kind of know that you're alive. So are you guys good? Those of you who are still working, did you have today off? You'll have to let me know. Daryl and I, we were like, he was off today because he works for the school system. He works for the University of Alabama, so he was off and I was off. But we went downtown and we had lunch at Davis Drug, which we love that place, Davis Drug Store. Old fashioned kind of, you can get yummy soups and you can get yummy salads, and they have delicious cheeseburgers. That's what I had today. Daryl had a cheeseburger with no bun, because he was so good. I did have the bun, but we drank our little bit of balance before that, so that was great. But we noticed that the newspaper, the Shelby County Reporter, they were working today. So their parking lot was full and they were working. We were a little bit surprised. And then Davis Drug, of course, they were open today, because I don't think drugstores take too many days off. Anyway, we had a wonderful, that was so good to have lunch there. Hey, Diana. Hey, Paulette and Carol. Daryl bumped into a little bit of trouble with his trying to get that mailbox on, and he said he needed another tool. He was not sad to go get the new tool. Sheila said, can you tell me what could cause my cookies not to rise? They just spread all across my cookie sheet. Sheila, sometimes it depends on where you live. Like one recipe in one part of the country will do a little something different in another part. Sometimes that has to do with elevation, if you can believe that. But it kind of sounds like maybe you need to add a little bit more flour. Try to add a little bit more flour and see what happens. Melanie said, -20 wind chill tonight and tomorrow until 9 a.m. here in Whiteland, Indiana. Oh my gosh, that is freezing cold. When our daughter Madison, let's see, when Cash was born, I just got a little reminder. Let me tip these little glasses a little bit forward. Okay. And then my ring light is on. Anyway, when Cash was born, he was born in January, and they lived in Idaho, and it was -5, and I thought that was freezing. And so I cannot imagine -20. That is crazy. Okay, Liz said, hi, I love your cooking. Also, I'm praying for you and your husband. You are so sweet. Hey, Meal Prep Mamacita. Hey, Julie, I was wondering if you would pop on. Julie, you are the busiest lady, and I don't even know how you have time to even just at 5:22, be able to pop on. So I'm so glad you are. Let's see. Patricia said, where did you get your earrings? Okay. Do you love these? They look like they're fancy and expensive, but I got a set of 3 of these, pink and red, and this at Walmart, part of their Valentine stuff. Star said, hello from Jasper. Okay. Hey, Eli, and let's see. Who else? I love you too, Meal Prep Mamacita. You guys go follow her. She has the best recipes. I just made her bow tie bacon ranch pasta salad. It was delicious. So good. Meal Prep said, Julie said, I think it may snow this weekend. Really? I haven't looked ahead at the forecast. That would be so much fun. Okay, so it is Metabolic Monday, and I just want to just chat with you guys for just a few minutes so that we can, if those of you, are you guys watching the national championship game? I'm so pulling for Indiana. They are just the underdog. They have been, and they are doing such great stuff. So anyway, I wanted to come on early, but I want to show you guys what I made for dinner. I also made a video that's going to be going up, I think, on Friday. But I'm going to show you what we're having for dinner because it's just one of those things that's very simple to put together, and it is so, so good for you. So I made sheet pan salmon and asparagus. And if you'll look at this salmon, you'll see that there's a layer of cream cheese, whipped cream cheese on the top, and then I put everything bagel seasoning. And I want to tell you why this is such a good option. And I know that you guys have seen Daryl and I just go through this health journey. And, you know, for now it's been a year since he started the protocol that he's been using. But we've learned so much about our health, okay? And I don't know why it seemed like such a big mystery to us. It was just a lot of medication, a lot of things that we just honestly probably didn't take the time to truly understand. And it wasn't without a lot of effort that Daryl was, you know, anyway, we were just trying to figure everything out. So I want to explain to you why this dinner is going to be so good for you. Okay, so the salmon, I gave myself a couple of notes. The salmon has omega-3 fatty acid in it. And omega-3 fatty acid is an anti-inflammatory fat. Okay, so what does that mean and how does it help us? So there's several things that omega-3 fatty acids do. They support your heart health, which don't we all need that? They support your brain and your memory, which is so important. They support your hormones and your joint health. And I know as we age, I think sometimes we just kind of expect that our bodies are just going to fall apart and there's not a whole lot that we can do about it. I know I have exercised for a long time and just thought I was kind of skirting around taking any medication. And now, like watching Daryl and learning about intermittent fasting and also then putting fiber in front of your meals, your body knows how to heal itself, and we may not need all the medications that we're on. I know when we've had Julie on before, and Julie, again, Meal Prep Mamacita, is a pharmacist, she just has shared with me that one of her struggles with being a pharmacist is she would give all of this medication out and really know that so much of it, like these patients didn't really need to take all of this if they would just change their lifestyle. So that's what I want to kind of teach you guys a little bit about, okay? So the other thing is this salmon is a really high quality protein. And so sometimes we wonder, well, why do we need to take protein? And I know for me, I really thought for the longest time, it was just about muscle. And it is about muscle. That's really, really important. But when you have a good protein, it stabilizes your blood sugar. which is really important. So important. You also feel fuller longer when you are eating protein, when you have the right amount. Okay, now sometimes I struggle with getting the right amount of protein in or enough protein. And so what I do is I will supplement with a protein shake because that really helps me. All right, now again, if you look at this plate, okay, so I've got my salmon and then the cream cheese on the top. The old me would have been a little bit worried about putting this cream cheese because, you know, it's a fat, but a full, not like light cream cheese, but when you've got really good cream cheese and it's not the light, but now they're coming out with just saying that when you have full fats, that's actually good. The good fats are good for your brain. So I love that. I talked to you last Monday about how the food pyramid has switched. So it used to be this way, right? And at the bottom was lots and lots of grains. And then you had just like sugar and like fats up here at the top. Now, of course, sugar still needs to be the least amount of things that you eat, but fats tended to be like a bad word, like you don't want to have fat, but you really do want to have good fats because it helps to support your brain. All right, so I wish I had a piece of paper here because I would draw this out. But now the food pyramid, again, it was like this, and now it's like this. And so what it's showing you is your grains are at the bottom. Okay, you know what? I did draw a little picture of this, so let me show you. Can you guys even read that? Okay. So your whole grains are at the bottom and you have healthy fats and you have your protein and dairy and also your veggies and fruits at the top. So this is what you want the most of. Fruits and veggies, protein, dairy, and then you come down like healthy fats and then into your whole grains. Now the deal with whole grains is whole grains are great, but when you are eating too many carbs, that raises that blood sugar. And then insulin is released and you have too much insulin in your blood, and then you become insulin resistant. And insulin resistance just leads to so many things that you don't want. All right, and it is like, so insulin resistance, actually, let me give you an example. Insulin resistance is your pancreas is insulin resistant, and that is what causes diabetes. Isn't that fabulous? Or not fabulous, but it's interesting, right? When a woman has PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, her ovaries are insulin resistant. And so what happens is the cells just can't open and receive the energy that they need because insulin opens up the cells and then those cells get what they need. But when you have insulin raised so high all the time because either you're eating too much, you're snacking too much, you're like eating too many carbs, then your blood just gets flooded with that insulin. So as that happens, the cells are like, we don't want to open up anymore. It's too much, and they stay closed. And that's why people run into so many problems. It's part of the reason why men have ED issues, which is interesting, right? And we know that as men get older, but that's also the time when a lot of men have this gut, and that visceral fat is very dangerous. And so all of it ties back into insulin resistance, which is really, really interesting. So there's one other thing I want to share with you, because this is the teacher in me, right? Okay, I went over this a little bit last week, and I just want to share this again with you. So when you are like looking at your plate, you want there to be a bigger portion of veggies than anything on that plate. And you want to eat your vegetables first, because when you eat fiber first, when you eat vegetables first, that fiber is going to create just a buffer between your blood sugar your glucose entering your blood too quickly. And so eating fiber first, those vegetables first, prepares your body to do what it needs to do to create that, it kind of creates just kind of a little bit, like I said, a barrier so that your glucose doesn't enter so quickly. So if you just start eating, like if you go to a Mexican restaurant and you start eating chips first, you know, they bring that to you, start eating it. Those chips go straight into your blood, and your blood sugar rises. And so you're off to not a very good start when you do that, okay? All right, so veggies first. And good veggies like broccoli and asparagus, spinach, bell pepper, cucumbers, so good for you, okay? Then you can have a little bit of fruit, that's good, and the berries are super good for you. So berries are really great. Fruit is full of antioxidants and nutrients, and they have that natural sweetness. I love to keep blueberries in my freezer and just put, you know, they're so good and they stay good in the freezer. If I have them in my refrigerator, sometimes they go bad too soon. Apples and berries, orange, bananas, grapes, good for you, but berries are so good. Okay, protein. Let me give you some really good examples of protein. So salmon, what we just talked about, chicken, eggs, beans, so good for you. And of course, protein builds muscle, it keeps you full, and it does balance your blood sugar. Daryl has really noticed when he wears his glucose monitor. So it's in 24/7. It's called a CGM, continuous glucose monitor. He can see what his blood sugar is doing on his phone. And he has noticed in this year journey that he's been on that, you know, when he eats things that are full of protein, and I've mentioned this before, he loves a really hot chili because it really does keep his blood sugar lower. The meat and the beans in it, it's been great for him. So protein just balances your blood sugar. Okay, healthy fats. So we talked about this a little bit. They support your heart, your brain, and your hormones. And isn't that interesting? Because not too many years ago, we were all so scared of fat, but really, healthy fats are important. So what is a healthy fat? So a healthy fat would be like olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds. So what I did also with my dinner is I made some asparagus and I roasted it and I used olive oil on it. And it's so good for you. It's just good for your body, okay? For your brain and your hormones. And I know I need help with that. Both my brain and my hormones. Okay, so whole grains are at the bottom. Wait, they're at the top. They're turned around. Okay, that food pyramid has been turned around. And so they are that smaller portion. So whole grains are important. They're good for energy and fiber, but you just need them in smaller portions. And those would include oats, brown rice, quinoa. All right, sugar and processed foods. Like, shouldn't be doing that every day and just on occasion. And I used to say to myself, I need a treat every day. And while I think a treat is good, what I've learned is that I can choose better treats that actually help my body. And a little bit of dark chocolate is good. But I really love my frozen blueberries. I think that is like one of my favorite treats ever. So I'm gonna read some of your comments, see what you guys are saying. I also wanna invite you, so you guys know Daryl has been on this journey. We have been using this protocol. We've been using the Unamate tea, the yerba mate that helps you to intermittent fast. And we have also been using Balance, which is a really, really good fiber before our biggest meals. And they have changed Daryl's life. His A1C went from an 8.3 to a 5.6, and now it's at a 5.3. And this has been so sustainable for the last year. If you're just curious and you want to know more, if you put science in the comments, you will get a link. Tomorrow night there is a science call, and it is at 8 o'clock Eastern. No, 8 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Central. And anyway, if you just put in the word science, we love the science calls. Such good information. There's always doctors on there just explaining how your body works, how this protocol is changing people's lives. There's lots of different testimonies on there. It's just one of our favorite things. So just put in the word science and you'll get a link to that, and you can watch that tomorrow. If you can't watch it tomorrow, you'll also you'll be able to watch the replay. So yeah, go ahead and put that in there. That will be good. Okay, I love it. You guys are putting in science. That's so good. I will tell you that I heard about this protocol before we started using it. It was like I had to listen to 2 different podcasts like twice before I was like, you know what, we're going to try this. And really wish that I really wish that we had started sooner, but you know what? It's okay. I had to do it in my own time. And, I know everybody else has to do that too. I totally get that. All right. Love that you're putting in all that. Just keep putting in the word science and you will be able to get that link. Okay. There were a couple of questions. Barry said, what is the name of the tea and how does it work? So it's an yerba mate tea. We will include a link to that also in this post. We are affiliates. We have an affiliate link is what I should say. We have an affiliate link and we can send you more information. If you want more information, so if you want the science call, put in science, but if you want Daryl and I to just send you the link or more information to it, you can just put in info also, and we will do that also. So what the yerba mate does, what this tea does, is it actually helps you intermittent fast. And when we heard of fasting, we were like, we cannot do that. That is way too hard to fast. But fasting, like all these scientists, and you guys have seen, like there's so much good science behind it, have just been talking about how important a little bit of fasting is, and it goes a long way. It gives your body a break from food. It gives your body a break from insulin. It gives your body just a rest. And when your body can rest, when your blood sugar can come down and stay down, then your cells can heal. It's fascinating. Your body knows what to do. So Barry, I will come back and I'll put that link in there for you. Some of her recipes can be adjusted to be healthier and before, right? Yeah. Oh, Janice is on. Janice, I'm so glad you're on. Thank you so much. Janice is my aunt and she has an amazing story. She's a year older than me. And so thank you so much. Dana is saying she breaks it down like she's talking to her students. Listen, I love things very simple. It has to be told to me very simple. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. Dale and Ann said, good afternoon, sweet lady. Well, hello. Mary said, may I ask what brand of CGM your husband has? Yes. He uses a Stelo, S-T-E-L-O. Now, this was a year ago that he started using the Stelo, and we just haven't changed it. But I think so many more have come out. So if you, I almost thought I did not take my cookies out because I'm baking for tomorrow. But I did. Hooray, I did. I just didn't turn my oven off. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. So there are other CGMs that are out. And so you can just look into that, but we use Stelo, S-T-E-L-O. Let's see, anybody else? Jamie is saying, me too. I didn't see what you guys are talking about. Okay, people putting in info. Okay, we will also, I love that. I love that you want more information. We will be sure and put a link in for you for that. You can look for that. Darlene said, I'm on the protocol, just wondering if y'all do 2 or 3 meals a day. I break my fast at 11. Darlene, we do 2. We do lunch and dinner. Lunch is our biggest meal. We drink our Balance, which is that fiber drink, before our lunch, and then we have a light dinner. Let's see, Cheryl said, been doing this since I was 16 and now I'm 76. The only thing I've changed is that I started on the protocol in May. One benefit is that my triglycerides were lowered. Yes, I'm so glad to hear that, Cheryl. I know, because Daryl has not only come off of, and it's not really necessarily just for diabetics, it's for, it helps with so many things, but triglycerides is one, but he's been able to get off his statin, blood pressure medicine, his diabetes medicine. It's incredible. Sheila said, don't know if you saw my question about what could make my cookies not rise and just spread across the cookie sheet. Yes, Sheila, you might just have to add more flour. And it kind of depends on where you live, because Ashley, my daughter Ashley's famous chocolate chip cookies, when she made them one way when she lived out west, but then when she moved here, she had to change the amount of flour that she had in her cookies. So you might want to just kind of play around with that just a little bit. Okay, thank you, Dana, for answering. Bonnie said, when is the raspberry pomegranate coming back in January? So Bonnie, if you check the website, it is supposed to be, what is today, the 20th? It was supposed to be released, I believe, this week. Annette said, Sheila, did you melt your butter by chance? Are you guys still talking about cookies? Because I love that. Roberta Johnson, Janice said, you want to cut out sugar. Fruit is okay. You can still participate in celebrations. Okay, I didn't see the question, but what Janice is referring to, this is one of the things that we have loved about this protocol, you guys, is we have, so Daryl, the last time he eats and we eat is around 6 o'clock in the evening. And then we start our fast about 6 o'clock in the evening, and you go to bed and you're fasting during the night. And the ideal recommended length of time to fast is 16 hours. Well, if you're doing most of that while you're asleep, it makes it really easy. And then in the morning, we just drink this yerba mate tea, and it helps you so that you're not hungry. And we eat our first meal about 11. And then in the afternoon, when you get a little bit snacky, then we also drink that yerba mate tea in the afternoon, keeping all of our blood sugar down. And then we eat a light dinner. Bonnie said, are they going to carry it all the time? I believe so. I believe they are going to do raspberry pomegranate all the time. And then they're coming out with a mint chocolate brownie that is delicious. Dawn said, do you eat eggs for breakfast or no breakfast? We eat no breakfast, but you can have breakfast for lunch if you want to, or you can have breakfast and lunch and not have dinner. You just want to try to get a 16-hour fast in, because that is when your cells start doing what they need to do and they pay more attention to the insulin. Rhonda said, I had the same question about the raspberry pomegranate flavor. I've been on the fence, but was ready to order and disappointed, only lemon to choose from. Okay, Rhonda, I love the raspberry pomegranate. It is delicious. It is so, so good. And so if you have a chance to order it, I think you would really love it. It'd be so good. Bonnie said raspberry pom is the best. It is so good. Annette said, I ordered raspberry pomegranate and they shipped some on January 18th. I'm so glad. Okay, let's see, we watched a webinar, I think Wednesday of last week, and they were saying that they were hoping that they could start shipping things out. And so I wasn't 100% whether that did happen last Thursday and Friday, but I felt like this week they would. Sharon said the fasting, hey Sharon Pridemore, I love you, friend. She said the fasting is not as hard as I thought it would be. The Unamate quiets the food noise and helps so much. Doesn't it? Daryl was like, there's no way I can fast. He was so worried. He has not been able to fast for years and years and years. And then he was able to do it. And he honestly just couldn't even believe it. And then he was like, if I can do this, anybody can do this. Okay, Julie is saying, I heard raspberry pomegranate is coming back on January 26th. So, Julie, thank you for sharing that. So I know that Unicity has been like, oh my gosh, raspberry pomegranate, and then, what was the other? Okay, yeah, raspberry pomegranate. Anyway, the demand for it was just so high, you guys. Once everybody tried it, they just loved it. So I knew that it was coming out this week or next. You can call 1-800-UNICITY also and talk to them about it. Dale said, thank you so much. You're so welcome. Roxanne said, what's the name of the tea? So Roxanne, what I will do is if you'll type in info, then I'll come back and I'll give you some more information. But it's an yerba mate and it's called Una Mate and it's awesome. Annette said Fierce. Do you love Fierce, Annette? That one has a lot of kick to it. Ashley said, I really like the lemon flavor. I do too. That's kind of my favorite, but I think it's just because I started with lemon and I really do love it. Now I add a lot of water, a little bit of extra water, and then a lot of ice is what I do because I just love the way it tastes. Kathy said, can't get the decaf lemon right now either. Yes, okay, yeah. That one should also be coming out soon too. I just don't think that they expected such a big demand. Okay, Karen is saying info. All right, you guys, let's see. Rhonda said, can I order the lemon now and next month adjust to add raspberry pomegranate? Yes, you totally can. Yep, just order the lemon now, and then you can call ahead of your ship date and just ask them to change it to raspberry pomegranate for sure. Dale and is it Gines Lindsay said, I have really bad neuropathy in my feet, hands, and legs. So my Aunt Janice can speak to this a little bit. She's on this, she's on here answering stuff. So she had problems with her feet too. And my sister had issues just kind of with her feet and with things being sore and hurting. And Janice's neuropathy has been going away in her feet. A lot of people have seen that turn around. So it's been a blessing to so many people. Dana said Una Mate protocol. Yes. Now what you want to do is you want to use our link. So I'll be sure and put that in this post, but also when you say info, then I'm going to put the link because you get $75 off if you use our link. Okay. Sue said info please on good protein. Okay. I will share that with you also. Unicity is coming out with a protein. They have a protein. They're working on a better one. And so I'll share what I know about that. Janice said, we'll do this for the rest of our lives. That's what Daryl said. I mean, and we're like a year into it. And he said, why would I ever change? I'm in better health now than I've ever been. We feel like it saves us money. It costs between $5 and $6 a day. And you might start doing the math and you might say, okay, that's $159. But if you're not eating breakfast and you're not having snacks, then you are gonna, I mean, it's cost neutral, but really we've learned that we've saved money on our grocery bill by doing this. And we feel so much better. And I mean, just even in medications, we're not spending money on medication. And it's a game changer for sure. Okay, everyone putting in info. I love that. Okay, I know what I'm going to be doing during the game tonight is I will be sending out some information to all of you. I love that. Okay, Janice is answering, this is not a regular tea. That's right. It's an yerba mate, which is a plant that grows in South America, and it just has so many benefits to it that people have discovered. And one of them is that it really does help raise your own GLP-1. I didn't really realize that we had our own GLP-1. I thought you just got these shots of GLP-1, but this is natural. It raises your own GLP-1 and it doesn't interfere with any medications. Daryl kind of kept taking his medication as his body started to heal, and then he got off of it slowly. So, you guys, thanks so much for joining me tonight. You're just the best, and I can see there's so much need out there. And as so many of you guys know, Daryl and I, we started he started the protocol at the end of October, November, a full year ago in 24. And then we didn't speak about it or talk about it for 5 months. We didn't tell our family about it. We didn't tell anyone about it because we had to know for ourselves if it really worked. And then in 6 months, he turned everything around. And for 11 years after his stroke, he suffered and struggled and suffered and struggled. And for it to turn around in 6 months, we couldn't believe it. And then actually now that it's been a full year that he's been on this protocol, we don't want to ever go back to that life and that stress and that concern. He just knew that he was going to have another stroke. And personally, we didn't talk about it. I was scared and he was scared. But it's been just the biggest blessing. Dee just walked right in here. Yes, you can. Okay, you might have to bring this up a little bit. Okay.
And it's texts like these that warms my heart and gives me, number one, it tears me up. Can I borrow your glasses?
Yes.
They are readers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you get a text from somebody?
I just got this. Literally. I was reading it as she was talking to you. So I'm going to read it to you. I'll leave the individual's name out. Sorry I haven't responded sooner. My apologies. Just wanted to let you know how I'm doing on the protocol. I have more energy, no brain fog. My kidneys and bladder are working better. And I'm sleeping better. I have neuropathy in my feet that I've had for years. I have noticed that my feet don't feel like lead weights. That's a positive. I still have a good degree of tightness in the foot and ankle, but I'm walking better because there's more flexibility in the foot and ankle area. I hope this makes sense. I don't have any information on my recent blood work. I have an upcoming annual wellness physical in February. Once I have those results, I will let you know. And then there's some personal stuff and more personal stuff. But how it's doing for this individual is it just brings tears to my eyes and strengthens my resolve to continue to share. So, and I wish this was just a once in a while, but it's almost daily. I receive texts like this, and the goodness that it's doing and the help that it's providing individuals is sometimes overwhelming. And anyway, I get emotional.
I can see you're a little emotional about it. I know, it's okay. I love it. And I think that's because you've been there and you know the struggle, and it's
real.
And it's real, and it's hard, and this is really.
I need to get back here to get in the picture.
I know, or you can come up closer. Yeah, I'm glad you joined us. Yeah. What do you guys think of the new Daryl?
Well, yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I'm so glad that you shared that. I think Daryl reads those to me almost every day. Somebody is sending him something about how it has been such a blessing. And we know it's been such a blessing in our lives.
It has.
And we can't not share. Yeah. It's just been so important.
And I came right in the middle of a thought that you were expressing, and I apologize.
No. I'm glad that you came on. Well, and really honestly, I was about to get off because we have talked about a few things. I shared with them, just some things. but we were going to get off because, I mean, that game, when does it start?
It kicks in about 30 minutes.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Cheryl said, you're looking good, Dee.
Oh, thank you.
And Janelle said, I wondered what looked different. So
it's just sometimes I just get, you know what? I'm just going to shave. So.
And in like 4 days, he'll have a lot of it back. But anyway, it's been a while. But he said yesterday, he was like, I think I'm going to shave. Well, a lot of times he'll disappear and he trims his beard up and still has the beard. And then he walked into the bedroom and then he didn't have a beard on at anything. And I was like, oh, you shaved everything. And so I like it. I like it either way. I think you're great. Either way, Dee. Sonia said, you guys are such a blessing. Love y'all. Love you too. Bonnie said, I thought he looked younger. Didn't realize whiskers were gone. I know there's a lot of gray in your whiskers for sure. Betty said, you look great. So sweet. Beth said, good evening. Holly said, we love you guys so much. Well, we love you.
Love you.
We love you. And we never, ever, ever want you guys to feel like that we're taking this audience for granted, because we are not. We love you and we care about you. And what I've learned on this page is we get private messages all the time of how people are really, really struggling and struggling with their health and all of that. And that was, I mean, there was so much of that, right, Daryl, before we even started sharing about this protocol. And we could totally relate, because Daryl had this stroke and his health was, it wasn't terrible. It was a whole lot of medication, and it was just a lot of worry and concern. And then when we found something, we really tried it out because we had to know for ourselves. And then once we did know, we couldn't not share. So that's why on Monday evening, that's the only time I try to share or talk about it. If you want more information or if you want to see more things, you can go over to Daryl's page, Darryl McDaniel, on his Facebook page. He shares a lot of really great information. Again, Darryl, go over there, ask him to be your friend. He'll add you as a friend, and you can see everything that he's doing.
Yes.
And so, we just want to help. We have, like you saw Daryl's emotion, like that, it's just very raw and very real. We want to help people because it's changed your life. Changed your life.
Yeah.
So we love you, love you, love you. Again, if you want to know, if you want to watch the science call, so many of you guys put that in there, just go ahead. I'll say goodnight for another minute or two, but put science in so you can get that link for tomorrow, the science call. If you're not able to make it, you can watch the replay, which will be awesome. Hey, Michael McDaniel.
Oh, buddy.
Hey,
man.
Let's see. Dixie Hackett said you look younger without the beard.
I was actually at work the other day. I'm sorry, I'm interjecting. I was working with a guy that I've worked with him a couple of times. I've been there a little over a year, and we've worked on projects together. Well, we had this morning, I had to go in early. We had about 2 hours that we're working side by side. And he's like, man, I know I got you. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, I'm so much older than you. I said, well, Jesse, how old are you? He goes, well, I'm 58. I said, next month, buddy, 66 right here. He goes, no way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't look it at all. So
that's nice.
It is. It's nice.
It's nice.
And now that I got rid of this, holy cow! I've gotten younger by another 10 years.
Yeah.
So.
I think you can look great. Okay, you guys. Thank you for putting in science. Hey, Deborah. So glad that you're on. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. And we are just going to tell you, going to remind you, you want to do your part.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember to be stronger every day.
Know that you can do really hard things. Know that everything is figure outable. Have hope. And we'll see you guys next time. Love you guys. Good night, Holly. See you later. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Dana, for helping us answer things. And Janice. Love you. All right, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.